Hi there, everyone. So I know that argument mapping might be a task that feels kind of difficult. I don't want this week to feel difficult to any of you. So I went ahead and I am going to create you this quick, brief video, basically doing the activity myself to show you what I want you to do in your discussion this week, okay? So the first thing you have to do is choose a song. It can be any song. I, as your instructor, am not going to choose an explicit song. And I just decided to do the song Therefore I Am by Billie Eilish. This decision actually, I'm not some huge Billie Eilish fan. I think her music's fine. I think Billie Eilish is a pretty non-controversial, pretty well-regarded, around-the-board artist. So I just wanted to choose an artist that you all could tolerate hearing for a few seconds. Also, this song, if you didn't know, is a really smart quip referring to Rene Descartes, who is a philosopher from the 18th century, I believe. If any of you ever end up taking a class on epistemology or the philosophy of mind, there is a quote from his first Meditations on Philosophy, I want to say is the book, and he says, "I think, therefore I am." And this is, of course, a really deep, resonant exploration of Cartesian skepticism in its original form that Billie Eilish understands and actually uses in interesting ways in the song as a trope for the story she's telling in the song. You don't need to know any of that in order to do this assignment or to follow along in this video. That's just why I chose it, especially because this is a class on critical thinking. And that sentence, "I think, therefore I am," still can have value if you don't understand who Descartes is, what Cartesian skepticism is, what any of that means to him, because the basic idea that your identity is somehow rooted in your capacity to think critically is resonant for this course. And I also just think for people more generally. And clearly so, because it's in our culture. And this song, I think, is older, at least like 5 years old. But I thought it was a cute way to show what I want you to do here today. I'm going to be doing the chorus. Let's listen to the song. Okay, I'll do it one more time. I'm also doing a clean version, so don't make fun of me. Perfect. My chorus is only 4 lines. I hope that you choose a chorus or a verse that is longer so we have more to engage with, but I'm just trying to demonstrate the idea to you, so I think a 4-line chorus is perfect. So write out the lyrics or type them out however you want to do it. Wrote it out. Okay. I'm not your friend or anything. You think that you're the man. I think, therefore I am. Let's isolate our claims. I'm not your friend or anything. You think that you're the man. I think, therefore I am. Now I'm going to number my claims. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an argument. I'll say it 1,000 times. There are arguments everywhere. You're surrounded by arguments. This is an argument. There is a thing that is believed. What is the thing that's believed? I'm the man. When she says, I am, she's referring to you thinking you're the man. But I am, number 5, is the thing that's believed. That is the culmination, the conclusion, the final point of my argument, the song's argument. I'm not your friend or anything. You think that you're the man. I think, therefore I am. When I taught you what inferential links were, because remember we have inferential links, we have a way of marking conjoint support. I told you this can mean implies that or therefore. Immediately, my song literally itself told me one of my ways of mapping this argument. I think, therefore I am. The thing that is believed is that I'm the man. Why do I think I'm the man? Well, it's because I think, I can think critically, according to Billie. What's another way that I'm the man? That I'm not your friend. These things work together, in my opinion. So we already have our first conjoint support. I'm not anything to you. Why am I the man? Because I'm not your friend and I'm not anything to you. And I can think critically, so I'm the man. There's another thing here, you think that you're the man. This is the premise that I actually don't think is connected to the argument. Remember in our last video, our last lecture, where we had that example where it started with, although the president has her faults, she is an outstanding leader and we should re-elect her. I isolated that first sentence, although the president has her faults. Just as I'm isolating here, you think that you're the man. But you thinking you're the man has nothing to do with me being the man. Just as the president having her faults had nothing to do with her being an outstanding leader or that we should re-elect her. That wasn't a claim that supported the argument, so actually wasn't a premise in the argument, it was just a claim that was admitted. So this is how I personally would map this argument. I'm not your friend or anything. You think that you're the man. I think, therefore I am. That's it. If you have a different map for me, that's fine. This is subjective. Although there are rules, right? You have to have inferences. You also have to have premises working together, and you also might have claims that have nothing to do with the argument. These are the objective things that all philosophers, all rhetoricians, anyone who ever argues and thinks critically can acknowledge. How strong those are, remember, is subjective. How relevant those are is subjective. How they work together can even be subjective. I might think that not being your friend makes me the man because it says something about my character and my virtue, but you might think it has nothing to do with you being the man, and that's fine. You just have to be able to defend your opinion. So if you're sitting here and you're going, I didn't have that map and you're scared, don't be scared. In fact, be excited, because now we have something to talk about. I can talk about something with you and tell you what I disagree with or agree with in your map. If you have the same map I do, that's fine. The point is not to force us all to have the same arguments or to understand them all the same way. Remember what I told you way back in that first video. I don't care about the things believed, and I don't care often about the final product. I care about if you thought critically to get there. Okay? That is how you'll do this discussion board post. That is what I want you to do for your post. Read the instructions to find out what you should do for your reply, and I wish you all the best luck. I think it's going to be excellent.